Hey everybody, well, anybody. As usual, off the cuff, going live. I've been keeping up with the Nancy Guthrie case. I think a lot of people have been, and it's getting more and more bizarre. But I think, not sure, but I think we might be close. So for any of you who have been keeping an eye on the situation, Nancy Guthrie, being the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie, Today host in America, not Australia. We do have a Today show here in Australia too, same setup, just Aussie. So her mother was kidnapped, and it's 12 days now since she's been kidnapped. But quite frankly, it's getting to a point where I don't think she was kidnapped. And I kind of hope that somewhere she's still around. You always want to keep that hope up. But for those of you who are unsure on what clues are currently happening, hey Heather, enjoy work. I watched your video last night, very interesting. I'd live there. Anyway, sorry people, that's a side point. So Nancy Guthrie missing. The FBI finally got the footage from the doorbell camera that showed someone, trying to dismantle the camera. Pretty clear pictures of him, and if anybody actually knew who that was, you'd probably go, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. Nothing's come up as yet, despite the fact that they actually arrested somebody but then let him go. I don't think that's him. But some new footage has come out. Now, I watch a fellow called Professor Nez. He's awesome. And he had, everyone else is showing blurred out facial features of the person in the footage. Professor Nez has got the footage not blurred out. I don't know why they're blurring it out. If the guy's innocent, he can simply ring up the police station and say, oh yeah, no, that's my house. The gate was locked. I had to go around the front, right? So I'll show you this. Let's have a look. I don't want to share that. I want to share that. Share screen. Share. Okay, so that's Professor Nez there in the thing. His channel's really good. Just look for Professor Nez. He's on top of everything, not just this, anything topical, whatever. He's pretty good. He used to be a professor at a university, hence his name. So this footage I'm about to play for you, the doorbell footage at Nancy Guthrie's house, where you see the guy in the mask and everything, that was taken at, according to the FBI, at 2:12 a.m. Okay, this footage you're about to see was 5 miles away from Nancy's house at 1:58, I believe, by the timestamp. 1:52. So 20 minutes before the camera footage that everybody's probably seen. But I'll show you that again in a minute. So this footage here is what has been, the FBI are looking at it. But if you watch this fellow, well, here we go. Just watch. I hope the sound's working.
The night. Here we go.
Now here
look at the backpack.
Yeah, two backpacks.
Put something over a fence, trying to get through the gate with another backpack. The jacket looks very familiar.
Now, if you have a look at that backpack, and I'll show you the old footage shortly, the footage from the camera, I don't think it's that backpack. The backpack that he's putting over the fence has got reflectors on it. According to TMZ, that particular backpack, the big one that's full, that he's trying to put over the fence, are sold in Walmart. Okay, so pretty common backpack, but that's where they're sold. So, and this backpack here he's got on his back, it's got some markings on it similar to the one in the old footage, but jacket's very similar. Let's have a look. And it's a hoodie that he's wearing. And but anyway, let's continue.
He's trying to open the gate, it looks like, whoever this individual is. Now, this guy looks a little bit, I don't know, the video could be deceiving, but he looks a little bit more, so he couldn't open the gate, and then he goes back.
Now, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure Professor Nez goes a bit closer, but the other thing I noticed about this dude, there we go, if you have a look there, he's got a goatee for sure and facial hair, okay? Balding, obviously. I don't know how old he is. The footage is too far away. Jacket, without seeing his arms there, whatever. But it's interesting that in this instance, this is why you've got to be careful. It might not be the same guy. It may actually be somebody just coming home from work late, coming through the back gate and can't get it open and goes in through the front, right? It might be a completely innocent person that just happens to have two backpacks and a hooded jacket and jeans very similar to that of the person that 20 minutes after this was taken is trying to get into Nancy's house. And the footage, which I'll go to in a minute, the footage of the guy trying to get into the house, you can see through the face mask that he's got some facial hair around here. Okay, so the footage is just what you've basically seen. He comes, he tries to get in the gate, he can't, he takes his bags and he walks away. So what to make of that, don't know. But in my personal opinion, it could or it might not be, but it's very, very coincidental that 20 minutes after this footage is taken, there's someone at Nancy Guthrie's door dressed in a very similar fashion. The only difference is that the guy at Nancy Guthrie's door, and you can't quite, it's also very hard to see this dude as well if he's got a gun in his pocket, but don't know. It's very interesting. Now I'll go back and I'll find the original footage. Professor Nez is pretty handy. He's usually all right. Let me have a look. And it is very sad. Like what do you do? You know, the mum's missing, and nobody can find her. And given her health issues, her age, and whomever this was that broke into her house, the blood on the doorstep, FBI and police are back at Nancy's house currently. They're there now, and they've got a tent set up around the front door area where the footage, the original footage, was captured. Look, I think they're close. I think they're going to get this dude. If this fellow in the video I just showed you is the person, great, because someone's going to know who he is, because he wasn't masked up and he didn't have his hoodie on at this particular place, which is interesting. That's what makes me think, oh, ski mask at the other place. But then did he not realise there were cameras there? Like who knows what the hell, whoever it was that went to Nancy's, all the police, FBI, etc., sort of say that whoever it is isn't a professional anything. It may have well just been a break and enter trying to get into the house. Problem is the guy had a gun on his waistband, so that's not good. Let me find the original footage for you, which I did have queued up and accidentally shut the page. I am not a professional, people. Footage. There we go. All right. This is just a short. So here we go. Yep. All right. Pause that. And I am so not good at this. Where's it gone? Is that it? Yep. Don't want to share the wrong thing. All right, so this is the old footage. So I'll point out a couple of things on this for you. It's only a short. So now that's the guy. He's approaching. You can see he's got on a face mask. So it'd be interesting to have another look at him as he walks away, whether or not the jacket he's got on is a jacket or a hoodie jacket. And you can see there it's a hoodie jacket. And then he goes out. Yep, he's wearing a hoodie jacket. Difference being he's got some gloves on, and you couldn't see the guy's shoes in the other one. Now, I'm just pausing that there. That backpack there that he's got on's got these little lines, as you can see on the padding to the backpack, right? That backpack in the other footage that was being put over the fence has that padding. And when he turns around also, I'll just go back a minute. The actual backpack he's got on there, if I can get it, he turns around a minute. The actual backpack he's got on here too, when he turns around, is bigger than the one in the other footage that he's wearing, the smaller, darker one. So whoever this dude is, he's not, the sharpest tool in the shed. But you see there, the backpack's quite big compared to the backpack that the dude's got on in the other footage. So I would say he had 20 minutes to get 5 miles to Nancy's house, if it's the same dude, right? And how coincidental is it that on the same night, 20 minutes before this happens, that there's a dude trying to get through someone's gate with 2 backpacks? Now, could be it could be an absolute honest thing. It could just be somebody, coming home from work. It might be absolutely just a coincidence. But, yeah, the FBI are on it. So that's the footage of the dude there, and I'll let you make up your own mind in regard to that, yeah? But do I think it's the same guy? Can't tell. But the other interesting thing too is what it might not be. Like the jacket's got fur around on the thing. The guy in the previous footage had a darker coloured T-shirt underneath. Oh, but one thing in regard to night vision camera work, of people who go out and investigate ghosties and stuff will know this, that if you're wearing something dark, so dark jeans, right? You're wearing dark jeans, on night vision cameras, they show up almost white. If you've got a black T-shirt on, it'll show up almost white. So it's kind of like, it's really weird the way that night vision can affect the colours that you're wearing. But anyway, that's that. And of course, I'm going to keep on it and see what's happening. A Nerd Report, Lewis at Nerd Report has been doing some excellent work. Good old Lewis. He's been covering this exceptionally well. I'm amazed he's even getting any sleep. But yeah, just I think within the next few days we may get something on who has done this, and I hope it's that other dude. I hope they get him, and it turns out it's him. Unfortunately, 12 days, 84 years old, not able to walk very well, without the assistance of a cane or whatnot. It's not. I wouldn't say, in my personal opinion, if it were my mother that was missing, of course I'd be holding out hope that she's somewhere alive, that he's put her somewhere and she's alive. But I don't think it's a kidnapping. I think it's some dude, opportunist, that's decided, I'll try this house, and something's gone wrong. I don't know, but we'll find out. They have found the gloves, they've found 2 gloves, black gloves, and that's what this dude was wearing when he was trying to get into Nancy's house. They have found them about, I think they said, a mile or so away from the house, just thrown in the scrub. They can get DNA from them, obviously, so that could be helpful. So yeah, just watch this space. And that's probably all I'll talk about in regard to Nancy Guthrie at the moment, because it's just so mental. It's just so ongoing, but a lot of clues, a lot of clues. And of course, anybody who is a Dawson Creek fan, I watched it when I was younger, but yeah, poor old James Van. Sorry there. I'll just, sorry, I was playing that. But yeah, Dawson's Creek, the boy who played Dawson in the show passed away February 11th, so 2 days ago. He had cancer. And I'll just, oh, that's him. That's him not long ago. So I'll put that little picture up. Just, there he is. James Van Der Beek. Where are you, James? There he is. Bless his cotton socks. He put up a good fight. Yeah, his wife announced that he'd passed. So that's heartbreaking, because he was only, I think, 48. I'm pretty sure, 48 years old. You know, a baby compared to me, and he's now gone. So I just, you know, it's just pretty sad. But he put up a good fight, and apparently I've seen on the grapevine that due to the fight with the cancer, they kind of used all their resources financially to do things. So I'm of the understanding that the wife is asking for financial assistance in some regard. I hope that's not true. I hope that's just a gossip person, because I would hope that at this time they had everything sorted and financially that she's fine. Hopefully she is, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that if she's not, would happily help. But yeah, rest in peace, James, and thanks for the years of entertainment on Dawson's Creek. Getting back to the other day, I was talking about different things happening here in Australia with our government. We've outlawed the Palestinian protesters. Like, they're not allowed to protest in the street anymore because it's just hateful. Okay. In Sydney, on the weekend, I believe it was, they did have a protest. The police, yippee, the police actually acted and took some of the people off the street. And I just wanted to show you this, because there's been a, and I'll show you. I'm trying to get better of, here we go. It's just a short, and I'll pause it for a moment. So, this stage. So what was happening was the Israeli president had come to Sydney to go to Bondi, support the Jewish community in their grief, show support from Israel. They actually brought a stone from Jerusalem. I'm not quite sure what they were doing with that at the time, but it's all in regards to, sharing in the grief. So, of course, all of these leftist crazy people, there's people on the left who aren't crazy, okay, but the far left crazy people decided to have a protest. They weren't allowed to, because this is a high profile person, the president of Israel, coming to do just that, just what he did. That's what he came to do. He came to show respect to the victims of Bondi and show support to the families, the Jewish families. So all these Palestinian bloody dingbats are out there, free Palestine, rah, rah. Who, honestly, in my opinion, I don't give a shit, right? I'll be honest, I don't give a shit. That's been going on for thousands of years. How about protesting and saying, go help Iran? Okay, Iran is over there. They're being slaughtered at the moment by the regime that's over there. How about some protests about that? Hey, support Iran. Anyway, trying not to get off topic. But so anyway, they were protesting. The police had the area cordoned off. There were restricted areas that you were not allowed to be in. Okay, the protesters were there and they were getting told to go away. And then this happened. Muslims moved in to the restricted area where they were not allowed to be, okay, and were blocking the footpath. The protesters were there as well, but the police were there doing their job, removing everybody, telling everybody to get back. So this is a bit of the footage of what happened. You can hear them. So they're paying, right? They're blocking and they're in a restricted area. So the police come along and they say, you've got to move, right? You've got to move. They wouldn't move. And then next minute, I don't know if this is fast forward. So the police said, come on, move. You're in a restricted area, get out.
Wow! 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 Wow!
All I'm going to say is I'll let you make up your own mind on that one, but that's what was happening. The police removed them, and yay, the police actually did their job for a change. Well, were allowed to do their job. Okay, the Muslims should not have been there praying on the footpath in a restricted area that was cordoned off for a purpose. They actually did that on purpose to be a nuisance. Okay, so I'm glad the police removed them, and terrific. And then later on, there was a couple of protesters. She's 70 and I'm whatever. And they got sprayed in the face from the police because they were in a restricted area. Don't go to restricted areas, people. You want to peacefully protest, but none of what happened on the weekend was peaceful. And it was dealt with. And it should continue to be dealt with, in my opinion. It's just getting beyond the joke. I'm personally, as an Australian, I'm sick to freaking death of it all. Absolutely sick to death. Like I've had enough. So it's time, for people when they're doing the wrong thing to be dealt with. Which brings me to the subject of Australian of the Year. A young lady who actually deserved deserved the award. I'll show you what she chanted at the protest. Excuse me. Where are we? I'm sure there's just a piece of her just shouting it. Anyway, Grace Tame is her name. And she's actually probably a very lovely girl, all right? But what she did on the weekend is not lovely, and it was absolutely hateful. And under the new laws, I don't know yet as to why she's not been arrested, because apparently if you spout what she spouted, if I said it here, if I said it here, knock, 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 hey, that's hate speech. So this is, I'll show you what she did. I'll see if I can find a short rather than, give me a second. Let's see. Oh, that might have been it. Here we go. So, so people are saying strip her of her Australian of the Year award. I don't think that's necessary because she got that award. She supported women victims of, for YouTube's purposes, raping. Okay, she was a victim survivor of that sort of thing. But anyway, she got her Australian of the Year award for a purpose, and I don't know. I don't think she should be stripped of it, but I certainly think that's up to the people who give the awards. Okay, but what she did, I'll let you be the judge. It depends on your own political views, I assume, but this is what she did. So listen to this and make up your own mind.
State. Say it with me. From Gadigal to Gaza. Globalise the Intifada. One more time. From Gadigal to Gaza. Globalise the Intifada.
So that's what she said. Now, for those of you who are not political and don't know what that means, let's just say if you're a Jewish person, or a person with any moral standing at all, that's a cry to war. That's against the Jews. Okay, that's let's go get, that's hate speech, pure and simple. So why has she not been arrested? Why am I not seeing reports on the news? Hey, she's been called into the police station and she's been charged with hate speech. So what is it? Is it because she's Australian of the Year and has this story that, great, she helped a lot of women? Terrific. Does that mean that she can go out in public like this in front of these morons and call for death to Jewish people and all that sort of thing and not get in trouble? Not have some form of something? I don't, look, I'm over it. But anyway, you make up your own mind. But I think it's disgusting. It's not and it's scary to me that young people her age, my children's age, are being brainwashed. And worse still, they're getting their news from TikToks or X, short little snippets of things that they flip through. Ooh, look at what he's done. Look at that. Look at what she's done. Little edited snippets that can be made to either be the truth or can be made to look like a whole heap of bullshit. And people are believing it. Young people are believing all this crap. And it's really scary. And it shouldn't be happening. And things that are hidden from us too. Like I was actually watching someone else the other day, and they were referring to a case in England where an immigrant who'd come over there, he wasn't a citizen, he was an immigrant to England, him and a bunch of other boys. There was a young girl and her friend in a park. One of the girls had to go somewhere and said, "Can you please look after my friend?" I don't know what they were thinking. There was a couple of boys there of a particular ethnicity who said, "Yeah, we'll look after your friend." They did look after her friend and repeatedly took turns doing revolting things to this young girl. Anyway, it went to court, and this fellow had already had convictions for similar things in his own country of origin, and the fact that he was also an immigrant of a particular persuasion. When asked why he did what he did, oh, well, he said, why not, so to speak, like, what else was I going to do? He got convicted, he's in jail, but the judge ruled that nobody was allowed to know his ethnicity or the fact that he was an immigrant. That was not allowed to be reported on by law because he was afraid it would sway the jury, and he was also afraid that it could create, within the community, some uproar. The real reason, if you ask me, is because if the community knew that yet again somebody has done something atrocious, it would cause uproar. People would be saying, "Why are you letting these monsters into our country that have no respect for women?" So I don't know. That's what's happening in England. That's what's happening. Hi, Banshee. That's what's happening in England. And now that certain things are happening here with our laws, it's not going to be far. I mean, they've already done things like, didn't want to admit that the Bondi shooters were of the ethnicity that they were. That people do. And I guess they do it under the guise that, if we let the general public know what's happening, there might be uproar in the streets. The government might actually have to act and might actually have to do something to protect regular Australians. And by regular Australians, I mean anyone who's here legally and loves to be an Aussie, has a barbecue on the weekend, supports Australia. Australia is your home, you love it, and you're proud to be an Aussie, no matter where you come from, okay? No matter what your religion is, whatever. If you want to be here, but if you want to be here and make this you've come from a horrible place, and you come here and you want to turn this Australia into what you left, just pack your bags and go back. So, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper, but anyway, that's how I feel. Yeah, so they're the main things in the news this week that I've been keeping an eye on and saddened to see. I'm also there's a lot more going on in the world, and I'm amazed that a lot of people don't know what's going on. I don't know. I guess a lot of people try to avoid the news, I suppose. I mean, I know for a while I did, because every time you turned on the news, something atrocious was happening. You know, Canada, just on the other day there, what was it, 2 days ago now? Yeah, Banshee, Canada, the 10 dead, one young little 12-year-old. I hope she's survived. Also, you know, the school shooting in Canada, where I knew it's just horrendous. You know, another school shooting. The Canadian people said it was a person with a gun. So dun, 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 and they're upholding respect for the person with a gun. What about the respect for the 10 people that he shot and killed? What about that? Having done that, I haven't got any respect for what you want to call yourself. Okay, simple. But yeah, pretty bad stuff. But on that subject, I might call this one short. I just wanted to put an update there. I'm going to go live with Enzo, obviously, on the weekend. Currently working on finishing off. I'm always finishing it off, but I'm nearly finished my video on a castle in the Aberdeen Shire in Scotland. And I thought that's got a little bit of history behind it for you. I'm still down the rabbit hole with Jack the Ripper and my theory on it being none of whom they're speaking about. So I'm also working on that. But these things take a long time to put together. Even though I've got an idea, it still takes me a long time to pop them together, you know. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm working hard to get some stuff out there. But I just wanted to come on because, yeah, and as we're speaking, I do not think, I'll double check just in case it's breaking news, but I don't think there's any more on I don't think there's any more on Nancy just yet. There's still the police are still looking at that footage. That if you go back to the beginning of this little live, you'll see the footage I'm talking about. They're still working on that, trying to find out, I guess, who that is. But the mystery continues. I will, Banshee. I will. I just sometimes I've got to say stuff. I get, you know, you can see there on the background people. Now, am I what do you call them? I'm conservative. I guess you'd say I'm conservative or somewhere in the middle, because I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't agree with everything little Trumpy says. I don't agree with everything little Pauline says. But at the end of the day, I do believe in my country, and I do believe that it's really not in good shape and it's heading in a disastrous direction. If we don't get rid of who's currently in government at the next election, well, then, you know, the country's just going to go down the toilet. And as for America, everybody knows I love America. And same thing, let's hope that in November things happen and get better. Oh, in regard to Trump and Enzo, this weekend I want Enzo to speak. Yeah, it does suck, Banshee. This weekend Enzo's going to discuss that indeed President Trump is apparently, according to his daughter-in-law, President Trump is currently considering coming forward and giving the world, America and the world, a statement on UFOs and aliens. He's going to come clean with stuff, apparently. Interesting, because everybody knows something weird's going on with tech. But so, yeah, Enzo's going to talk about that on the weekend. And I don't know, maybe President Trump will get up and give a speech and introduce us to a grey. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, everything's looking good for that. So yeah, I know, right, Benji? So it'll be fun. And there'll be no talk unless there's a major update with Nancy, which I'll come through with. It's not looking too good for Nancy, but there's always hope. Hey Dee, I was just about to hop off. I've only been on just quickly because I wanted to give an update on a few different things, and my condolences for James Van Der Beek, who played Dawson from Dawson's Creek. He passed away, and so you can rewatch Dee. It's not a long live. It was just something I felt I wanted to do, and yeah, Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Let's hope our beautiful country comes back to being a beautiful Aussie land with everybody who's happy to be living here and happy to be, happy. Yeah, it was 48. I think it was bowel cancer. Pretty sure. Colon cancer. But yeah, very, very, very sad. Yeah, so fingers crossed there's a breakthrough today or tomorrow with the Nancy Guthrie case. There seemed to be a lot going on there. And I did mention the little Gus Lamont on my live the other day, the little fellow. Again, who knows what the Aussie police are doing in that regard. Hopefully it's getting closer to finding out, or at least finding little Gus's body. I personally don't think, yeah, exactly. Don't worry, be happy. That's exactly it. But hopefully, in the Gus Lamont case, I've been on watching that a lot too. I don't think it was murder. I think it was neglect. I would dare say something's happened, and rather than come forward and say, ring the police and say, oh my God, the tractor fell on him, or he's fallen in a ditch, he's broken his neck, rather than call for whatever reason, panic, they've covered it up and got rid of his body. It'd be interesting to see, Dee, because the police impounded a car, like a ute or something, some other piece of I think it was a dirt bike. Anyway, they've taken a lot of evidence away from the house. So they probably think, and the grandfather, grandmother, was a bricklayer, I think, by trade as well. And there's a lot of equipment around, and where apparently little Gus was playing, there's a very deep ditch that was dug and some equipment. So, firstly, you just don't leave a little toddler like that out alone, no matter where you live, on a ditch of dirt when you're inside with another child cooking a meal. Everybody inside, Nana's cooking, right? Or at the very least, you should have another adult there with you and say, can you go out and watch Gus while I cook dinner? That didn't happen. So I think that's just neglect, but because they've covered it up, because they've panicked and done whatever, that's what's going to make it bad for them. But again, that's hypothetical. That's just my opinion. That might not be what happened. Who knows? But I'm hoping that's kind of the way it went, that no one actually hurt the poor little fella, that he's been neglected because they were inside cooking and something's happened. And, yeah. But anyway, now, before I go, any good news? Yes, I'll take a picture tonight, but I've got a kookaburra that's currently coming into my backyard of an evening, sitting on my umbrella and waiting for me to bring him out some chicken or beef. So he's had chicken the last 2 nights. Tonight he's going to have to deal with some beef, or ground beef. So we'll see. Yes, and hopefully they find Nancy, or at the very least find Nancy's body, so the family, but I just hope that because it's just really weird. It's just all really weird, but we'll see. But anyway, the good news is I've got a kookaburra coming into backyard. I will take a picture and tune in on Sunday for us, Dee. Sunday morning, I'll be with Enzo and we'll discuss what President Trump might announce about aliens. Oh, very cool. Oh, when was your birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. There you go. No one's much as watching, so I can be a twit. But yeah. It was disconnected, Dee, it was disconnected from the app, which just basically means that her pacemaker has got, because her phone was left at home, so her pacemaker is connected to the app on her phone, which means when she's left and the phone's there, just like it is with any Bluetooth item. Let's see. Aaron's going camping. House is mine. Oh, enjoy. Well, I shall leave you all there. And yeah, I'm just in my old age. I'm getting to a case of can't be effed around anymore, trying to be too polite to people. I still try, but you get to an age where you think, when's this insanity going to end? But yeah, let's hope that the world becomes normal again one day. Maybe not in my lifetime, but hopefully in my grandchildren's. But I still try to remember what it was like. My favourite era, the 80s. Life just seemed so easy in the 80s. But yeah, have a good Friday. And yes, it is Friday the 13th. Or if you add the 1 and the 3, that's 4. And 4 is my good luck number. So I always think Friday the 14th is all right. Okay, ladies, Dee, be good. Banshee, be good. Banshee, it's Colleen, isn't it? That's your name? Because I always say Banshee, but there you go. And I think young Heather is at work, or she was on the bus before going to work. So good on her. I hope it's not too hot over in Adelaide. Raining here, muggy, bit humid, but not hot, and lots of rain. My poor garden is just so happy. If the trees could smile, I think they would be. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, next time I'll call you Colleen. There you go. So happy birthday, Colleen. And Dee, have a good Friday. Colleen, have a good Friday. And hopefully I'll see you two on Sunday. I'll probably try and go early like this time, so Sunday's sort of happening. And yeah, pats for the fur baby. All right, and I'll have I'll probably try and videotape the little kookaburra that comes in my backyard. Who knows? Maybe one day he'll come and eat out of my hand. They're pretty smart, those little kookaburras. Oh, you know me, I say goodbye 100 times before I go. The other funny thing that happened, guys, I've got cockatoos. A lot of you probably have cockatoos come into your backyard as well. I've got a couple of cockies that are always here in the morning at 6:30 and in the evening at 6:30. They come in for a feed, right? There's 4 of them in total, but 2 and 2. I wasn't out there. I was busy and I wasn't out there. So they've taken to going to a little coffee table I've got outside, but in front of my sliding door, my outdoor door, and I've got little bits and bobs on it. Well, they sit on the table and they pick up all the bits and bobs and throw them to get my attention, so I'll come out and feed them. And then this morning, one of the cockies was sitting on top of my bird cage. I went out, gave him a little bowl of food and said, there you go. He got a fright from another bird, picked up the bowl in his mouth and flew off with the bowl to the fence. And I'm like, no, don't take my bowl. So I've had to chase the cocky and get the bowl back. But yeah, yes. But anyway. All right, I love you, ladies. Be good, and I'll hopefully see you on Sunday, and we'll just have a fun day on Sunday. If I see anything more about Nancy Guthrie, I'll make a quick, hey, whatever. But I think it'll be all over the news if they actually get anybody, and I'm sure Lewis from the Nerd Report will be all over it today as well. Bye, ladies. Love you to pieces. Bye, everybody.